He called it an opportunity, a coffee shop, a dream. Something he'd been planning for years. He needed a silent partner, someone who believed in him. He already had investors lined up, he said. He just needed one more person to make the numbers work. I was that person. I gave him $15,000. That was 3 years ago. Last month I ran into his sister at a grocery store. She told me I wasn't the only one. Welcome back to Karma Files, where we read the stories people were told to keep quiet about. Today's story comes from Reddit's r/relationship_advice. The original poster goes by Coffee Shop Loan 2024, and this one is about the specific kind of betrayal that only a best friend can pull off. Because strangers can steal from you, but only someone who truly knows you can make you feel like the theft was somehow your fault. Let's get into it. Our poster, let's call him Ryan, is 31 years old. He's been friends with a man we'll call Jordan since university. 10 years. The kind of friendship built on late nights and shared ambitions, and the kind of conversations you only have when you're young enough to believe everything is still possible. Jordan had always talked about opening a coffee shop. It was his thing, his vision. He'd fill notebooks with floor plans. He'd spend weekends visiting cafes in other cities, taking notes on their menus and their lighting and the way the chairs were arranged. Ryan believed in him, genuinely. That part is important. In the spring of 2021, Jordan calls Ryan with news. He's found a location, a corner unit in a neighborhood that's just starting to gentrify. Perfect foot traffic, reasonable rent. The landlord wants a decision in 2 weeks. Jordan has most of the capital, he says. He's got a small business loan approved. He's got 2 other investors, friends from his MBA program, already committed. He just needs one more. $15,000, he tells Ryan. That's all. And Ryan won't be a passive investor. Jordan wants him involved. He'll have a say in the menu. He'll get a percentage of the profits once the shop is profitable, which Jordan projects will happen within 18 months. Ryan asks for a week to think. Jordan says, of course. Take your time. 3 days later, Ryan transfers $15,000 from his savings account. He doesn't ask for a contract. That part will matter later. The coffee shop opens 6 months later. Ryan is there on opening day. He brings his girlfriend. He posts about it on Instagram. He is genuinely proud of his friend. The first year is hard but promising. Jordan texts updates. Numbers are growing. A local food blog writes them up. There's a line out the door on weekends. Ryan asks gently about the repayment timeline. Jordan says, soon. Just wait until we clear the startup debt. 6 more months. Ryan waits. 6 months pass. Ryan asks again. Jordan says, the boiler needed replacing. Unexpected cost. 3 more months. Ryan waits. 3 months pass. This time Jordan doesn't bring it up. Ryan has to ask. Jordan says, things are tight. The neighborhood didn't develop as fast as expected. He's working on it. And then, nothing. The texts become slower. The calls go to voicemail. Jordan is always busy, always just about to get back to him, always in the middle of something. 2 years after the loan, Ryan hasn't seen a single dollar returned. He starts asking around quietly. The 2 MBA investors Jordan had mentioned, Ryan reaches out to one of them through LinkedIn. The man responds within an hour. He says, I've been trying to reach Jordan for 8 months. His loan to Jordan, $12,000. Also no contract. Also no repayment. Ryan asks if he knows of anyone else. The man says, I know of at least 2 others.
Ryan sits with that for a long moment. Jordan hadn't needed one more investor to make the numbers work. Jordan had been collecting investors. Ryan doesn't call Jordan. He shows up. He drives to the coffee shop on a Tuesday morning, a quiet time, he figures. He sits down at a table near the window and orders a coffee, and he waits. Jordan comes out of the back 30 minutes later. He sees Ryan and his expression does something complicated. Not surprise, not guilt. Something more careful than either of those things. He sits down. Ryan puts his phone on the table between them. On the screen, a notes app with 4 names, 4 amounts, 4 dates. Total, $51,000. Jordan looks at the screen, then he looks at Ryan. Ryan says, "I want to understand what happened." What follows is a conversation that Ryan describes as watching someone decide in real time which version of the truth to tell. Jordan's first move is sympathy. The business had been harder than expected. The neighborhood hadn't developed. The pandemic had hurt them. He'd been meaning to reach out. He'd been embarrassed. He hadn't known what to say. Ryan asks about the other investors.
Jordan says they knew the risks. Everyone who invested understood it was a risk. Ryan says, "You told me you had investors lined up. You told all of us that. None of us knew about the others." Jordan is quiet. Ryan says, "That's not investment risk. That's fraud." The word lands hard. Jordan's expression changes. He says Ryan is being dramatic, that this is business, that things don't always work out, that Ryan knew what he was getting into. Ryan picks up his phone, stands up. He says, "I'm going to give you 2 weeks to come back to me with a repayment plan. After that, I'm filing a small claims complaint, and I'll be coordinating with the others." Jordan says, "You do that to a friend?" Ryan looks at him for a long moment. Then he says, "You did it first." He leaves without finishing his coffee. Ryan files the small claims complaint 16 days later. Jordan does not provide a repayment plan. The small claims process is slow and imperfect. The limit in Ryan's state is $10,000, so he cannot recover the full amount through that route. But the filing creates a legal record. It creates pressure. 2 of the other investors file separately. One retains a lawyer. 3 months after Ryan walked out of the coffee shop, Jordan reaches out, not to apologize, to negotiate. He offers Ryan $8,000. Final settlement. Take it or leave it. Ryan's lawyer, a friend who does this as a favor, advises him to take it given the cost and uncertainty of further litigation. Ryan takes it. He loses $7,000. Not nothing, but less than he feared. The coffee shop closes 4 months later. Jordan lists the equipment for sale online. Ryan sees the post on Facebook, shared by a mutual friend. The espresso machine alone is listed for $4,500. He does not comment. He blocks Jordan on every platform. And then, quietly, he moves on. The Reddit verdict was clear, not the a-hole. But I want to talk about the sentence Ryan wrote at the very end of his post. He said, "I don't regret giving him the money. I regret not getting it in writing. Those are different regrets." I think that's one of the most clear-eyed things I've read on this channel. Because here's the thing about lending money to a friend. The moment you decide to do it, you've already accepted some version of the risk. You know this person. You trust them. You want good things for them. The money is almost secondary to what the gesture means. What Ryan regrets isn't the trust. He regrets leaving the trust unprotected. A contract isn't a sign that you don't believe in someone. A contract is what you use so that you never have to find out
whether you should have believed in them.
Jordan collected $51,000 from people who trusted him. He built something with it. And when it failed, the people who paid for his dream got almost nothing back. That's not entrepreneurship. That's not bad luck. That's a choice made quietly while smiling at people who called him a friend. If you've lent money to a friend or family member and never seen it again, drop it in the comments. I read every one. Submit your own story at the email in the description. All names changed, all stories read, new episodes every Monday and Thursday. And remember, the receipts always come out eventually.